junction 15 on the M6 northbound, you'll come across these two slip roads. One comes onto the motorway and one leads off towards Stoke. This type of junction is called a trumpet. There are plans in motion to upgrade the junction, as the tight 270-degree turn can play havoc with HGVs. Just off this junction is an old transport depot, and we need to discuss it. On the trucker's eye! James IRLAM and Sons Limited was a haulage and storage company based out of Chelford in Cheshire, and this is a picture of what was their head office in Chelford. Back in 2009, that main site in Chelford looked a little bit like this, whilst here in 2024-2025 it now looks like this. The company having been bought out back in 2008 by Stobart for around £60 million. James IRLAM Logistics, as they were later known, also ran out of the depot close to junction 15 on the M6. Now, you may be forgiven for thinking that I'm using an old picture of the depot, but this is actually a picture I took at the end of March in 2025. After being bought out, Stobart continued to run this depot at junction 15 on the M6 for another 16 years. Using Google Maps, you can see this great shot from 2009 when both the Stobart and James IRLAM signs were on the building. And looking at the road in August 2023, you can see that the Stobart sign is firmly above the door. Stobart vacated this depot after they themselves were taken over by Kalina. They vacated this depot to move into one, and I know I'm going to say this wrong, in Etruria. Far easier to say on the junction of the A500 and the A53. That has now left a big massive transport depot empty at the side of junction 15 on the M6. Let's take a closer look at it. So let me run something past you. Would this not be an ideal place to put a new motorway service station? After all, most of the infrastructure is there, especially for the truck parking. And maybe with Keele and Stafford services being so close, it wouldn't actually need to be for anything other than trucks. There are already buildings on site which could possibly be developed into a truck shop or cafe or something along those lines. And if the site was to be designated as a motorway service station, you could build a new access road from the slip road that heads down to the south side of the M6. In another recent video, we looked at Burtonwood services and how the access was reworked a few years ago. Although the slip road is slightly longer and wider, the access is still via the on-slip down to the M62. This would take vehicles away from Trentham Road when they're looking to access the site. However, they would still need to use Trentham Road and Newcastle Road to exit. But is this actually feasible for anybody to do? Well, I suppose it all depends on what the rent is. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like the site is actually up for sale. Which really is a shame, as this site would have been perfect for a truck park or service area. 123 parking spaces for trucks and over 80 for cars made it ideal. I guess we'll just have to see what happens when the junction is upgraded. However, that could yet be still years away. I'm going to leave you with a short bit of scenery to show you that sometimes it's great to get out of bed, and sometimes looking out of the truck window can be magnificent. I'll see you all next time. One trucker's eye.